exclusively in CSR program, especially the humanitarian, OCO, and disaster innovation. And thank you very much, Director, for accepting our invitation.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you as our industry advisory panel also. So you are our industry advisory panel also. So we hope that session will help the participants to have an insight about the market pulse in EV trend and how we are going to go forward with this new technology. Over to you, Dr. Lim. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Dr. Arvind, and also thank you, Dr. Hafizo. And also, yeah, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and all the brother and sister here. Yeah, I come across especially the Taylor team, and I was meet up with them last time during MRAs, FSAE, and also the Shell Eco Marathon. And I think they have a very, very fantastic team as well, especially in the motorsport, racing and all things. Okay, so today I'll be sharing with you some of the knowledge in the EV. And I think I've been going to the sharing the screen with you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, sure, thanks. Okay. So basically, I think today I'll be sharing with you. First, I think we would like to understand, because before we going for the EV, we have to understand about how big totally the market of the Asian and also worldwide in terms of automotive. Then the second section, I'll be sharing with you what is the latest technology to analyze the performance, especially the battery and also the vehicle performance under the EV and HEV as well. Okay, so basically, I think this is Asian. There have been a few countries, and I think Malaysia is one of the Asian country as well. And totally, I think Malaysia, we have about 33 million population, but I think we have producing the car, especially 600,000 every year. And we are the third largest also automotive car industry in the Asian as well, okay? So I think basically around about 1,000 people, about 200 people, they have a car in Malaysia, yeah. So of course, most of Malaysia, I think all the automotive and also motorcycle are focusing in the peninsula, and we have a lot of automotive truck and bus as well. And one of the key things in 1985, our automotive was started, and which we have Proton, Produa, and also of course some is like Petronas. They are involved some of the engine and everything, yeah. So of course you can see MARI basically is Malaysia Automotive Institute. And I think you can see from here, how is the contribution from the automotive side come to for the Malaysia. You can see for that, we total, I think we about 64,000 directly involved in automotive side. And we only about 600, means it's one person, 10 car, you have one person getting the job. But this is only the direct person involved in automotive. How about those are insurance, logistic, and also the rest of the support industry for the automotive as well. Okay, how about come to the second one is regarding the Indonesia. Indonesia, they are about 260 over million, about 270 million people. And I think they are currently is only produce about 1.3 million car only, right? So that is still have far behind. And I think they'll be quite focusing on these things. They're supposed to be about 6 million car for them based on their population, okay? So we are also going for those, especially for the eco-saving, those are fuel efficient car. And also they are starting also booming up, especially in the automotive as well. And you can see from here, 256 million and all things, but they only produce about 1.3 million car, okay? The next one is the largest one, which is Thailand. Thailand totally, I think they have about 70 million car, and they are able to produce the largest, I think it's about about 2 million car. So we can see from the total of the Asian, we only produce about 4 million car. Total Asian, we about 650 million people, and we only produce about 4 million car compared to European side. European, they have a total roughly almost same like Malaysia, Asian, which is about 700 million people, but they're producing about 18 million car. So from capacity about 4 million until 18 million, you still about 12 million, 14 million to go on that. Yeah, so that's a very, very huge market here. Okay. So how about the world side? I think you can see the world. We only have about 14 company, but they control almost about 55 brand in the world. Okay, for instance, like Toyota, they control especially like Lexus and Audi. Then Geely, they control especially like Geely, Volvo, Proton, and Audi. So total, they're about roughly about 15 car manufacturer, but they control almost about 55 brand. So for Malaysia and also Asian, we have a Proton and Produa. Of course, I think recently, I think it just come out is like from Vietnam, they have a called VinFast and other things like this VinFast, the new brand of the automotive for the Vietnam. Okay, let's see the USA. USA, they are total about 330 million people, and they also produce a number of cars. Just in GM, they already produce about 8.5 million car every year. And Ford, you can see about they produce about 6.6 million. Okay, how about Tesla? Tesla is the newcomer for EV, but they're doing very, very well. And I think now they, especially their brand, the value of the brand even is quite on par or maybe overtake like Apple and all things. Yeah. So how about the European side? European, like what you say, they're about 750 million people, and they are able to produce almost about 18 million car now. Okay. And just even one Volkswagen, they are almost about 2.5 times than Asian now. They are about 10 million car per year. Okay, producing about 10 million car per year. BMW Group, they produce about 2.6 million around that. And of course, Daimler Chrysler, they also produce roughly about 3.5 million, which is quite good as well. And of course, the largest automotive is still come back to from Japan. Yeah. And Japan, I think just internally, I think they produce about 4.5 million and all. How about the externally? They also have a setup, especially in Thailand, Indonesia, and all over the world as well. So they can produce quite a number of biggest car. And yeah. So Toyota itself, okay. Then we can see about Nissan, they produce about 5 million. At Toyota, I think they are one of the strength, especially they are in the HEV, which is called Toyota Prius and hybrid, which is very, very successful. How about come back to Nissan? Nissan also, they have a very good, especially in EV, which is called Nissan Leaf, okay? And of course, China is the largest as well. And today, China have 1.4 billion people. And I think they produce almost about 28 million cars. You just imagine 600,000 car Malaysia produced, they can provide about 65,000 job opportunity. How about 28 million car they're producing? How about the support industry? How about manufacturing? How about engineer? How about E&E engineer? All these people to support them. So China is really, really very huge market. And you can see just one, this Shanghai Auto, they also produce roughly about, they are easily to talking about cars about 2 million or 5 million above. Okay, Dongfeng, 3 million above. And you can see from here, in 2018, it's 28 million. 2019, of course, I think in the end of the, also they'll be affected by pandemic, but I believe also they'll be getting bigger and bigger as well, okay? So there's two cars come to about 10 million, which is Volkswagen, and also regarding the Toyota as well. At this moment, they are the two largest here. The rest, I think they are doing quite well, especially Hyundai is picking up. But from the USA, they are a bit going down, okay? So let's see, is it very important thing is because we have so many cars in the world, okay? And there will be also increasing a lot of pollution and all things like, we only have one peaceful earth. And this is what we're talking about, global warming. And yeah, we cause destruction. And also, yeah, you can see from here what happened. the poor in the previous 1979, but today there's no more there. And also all these creature. And also those are what I call all these Mount Kilimanjaro, 1970. Now today it's almost like Mota already. So you can see from here, yeah, what happening also environment. So yeah, even the water you can see people just using the urine of cow, and also this what happened also. Myself, I think so you know, I think I'm also involved in the medical mission and also internal relief and medical mission for about 15 years. I also taking care of all the natural disaster in the Asian, especially during the typhoon in the Philippines and Aceh earthquake and all these things. Right? So this is, we can feel the global warming and cause all these disaster, natural disaster. And you can see from here, all these are pollution. So let us see, we need to have really a control. In the world, 1.2 billion car, okay, which cause about total 15% of air pollution. What we can do now, okay? Now it's 1.2 billion. Is it will become to about 2.4 billion and all things like it will cost about 30%. That's why also I think an important thing is like how can we, especially switching to the new energy. One of that is EV, HEV, or maybe other energy as well. So we are dealing with this soft solution called GT Street. We brought in this technology about 18 years ago, okay? Currently, it's only Malaysian using this technology in Asian because in the whole Southeast Asia, as we know, they produce about 4 million cars, but mostly are manufacturing and also assembly and all. Yeah, only Malaysia, because previously we bring these things because we have Petronas, and we also, Petronas is dealing with the Sauber Petronas and also E01 engine. And we also have Proton because for Campro engine and all things. So we brought in the technology 18 years ago. So today we have quite a number of units using, I'll be sharing with you later. So GT Street, basically it was come from a Gamma technology developed 25 years ago, okay? And this is a worldwide distributor, and VTC, we are taking care about Southeast Asia, all the country, Thailand, Malaysia, and Vietnam, and all the country in the South Asia. Yeah, so they have become the standard also, and I think there was mentioned they have a share market in the engine and also EV and all things. It's probably about very specific. Of course, they are not like CFD, FEA and all things like. In this section, we call it 1D engine simulation. They are about roughly about 95% of the control in the whole market. Okay, you can see all the user in the world now, European, US, and Asian as well. Okay. You can see all the big names are here, okay? They have become the de facto in this specific area. And they almost control, especially the European is quite big share market, Japan and USA. Of course, now we'll be starting on the Southeast Asia. Okay, so this is all their user in the worldwide. And I think you can see all the big name there, even the motorsport and all. Their total, you can see from here. Then how about in Malaysia? In Malaysia, I think we have been using also all the big name, all the automotive research university have been using, especially UTM, UTHM, UTP and all. And also even our Petronas and Proton and even the MARI, MAI, they'll be using that. And we have a few projects, especially national project, okay? Previously, national project on the automotive side. Okay, this is a few engine national project, okay? For the past about 10 years ago. And you can see from here, this is Petronas E01 engine using GT power as well. Okay, supposed to be using for the Perdana last time. And of course, this is Campro, using the Campro. Of course, they are using Lotus engineering software, but in the turbocharger, they are using the GT power. And the few first one engine in the whole Malaysia is called, from UTM, it's called two-stroke engine. So this two-stroke engine, as you know, two-stroke is quite polluted engine, but they're able to be changing that from UTM. And they are the first one to using GT power about 16 years ago. Yeah, of course, the two biggest national project, one is from the, this is called CNG DI project. And I think you understand because last time I think our government is quite kaya. So this one project, I think there will be funding from the government is about 32 million for 7 universities. Each university roughly about 5 million. And this is a compressible natural gas engine for local side. And of course, we have Petronas, and this is for the UTP and the UCAM. It's called linear engine. Okay, so we are involve all this on the GT side. And let us come back to the GT power. Okay, and GT basically also you can use, it's not just for car, you can do it for off-road like tractor, motorcycle, truck and bus, and all, even the marine as well. Okay. And GT also basically you can, we're talking about EV and all things, and all this talking about the crossover, because you need to have an understanding. Okay, during the MRS as well, we saw that a team also from this Taylor, they have all the different engineer from mechanical, mechatronic, electric. And that time also we saw two ladies from electronic to support especially the MRS as well. It's quite amazing. And also we saw this Taylor also, Miss Farah, she's a driver also for one of the sport car as well. Okay. And you can see, you can control especially all this software and all things, one car under hook, ECU. And today you're talking about a car, it's not just about 1 or 2 ECU, roughly about more than 10 or 20 ECU as well for control. Then how about in the future, a car you will have autonomous, okay? Then you will link up with the 5G, and also you can do all the shopping and all things like the order also inside the car in the future as well. So that is a big data and all things. You need to be linked up with cloud and all the things. Okay, so that is a very potential occur. And all this will be also related with the E&E engineer as well. Okay, you can see from all these things, the engine, cooling, GT power, you can do, original, the GT power have been also developed, it's called IC engine, internal combustion engine, which you can handle especially gasoline, diesel, and also biodiesel as well. As you know, you see most of the engine is like gasoline, diesel, and all these three things. But only recently they are able to handle especially the additional green energy like EV, HEV, PHEV, and even especially the solar as well. Yeah. So basically you can see all the car in everything is with cover, acoustic and exhaust system, thermal and a turbocharger and all this. Okay, so this is the layout. Okay, the layout is almost same like MATLAB and also, but it's the difference between GT is that GT is already have a, we call a know-how and IP program. Same also is like if you're doing accounting, you are using Excel. Excel can do all the account, but you are using go for SQL, other specific like APAC accounting software, right? Because they have a data, they have all the formula, the tax regulation and all things. Same also is same also with the MATLAB and also GT. GT is a special, they're already getting all the database inside based on the MATLAB also. The platform is quite similar like MATLAB, but it's more advanced because the database and all things, customization IP. Okay, so, and you can see all this is the layout. And let's come here because from Dr. Aravi mentioned that most of the are the the E&E as well. And also you have some chemical engineer and also mechanical side. So today I'll be specific focusing in the HEV and the EV as well. Why I would like to focus on the HEV because as you know, HEV basically is another technology between the engine and also the, especially for the motor. So in Asian, we can see it's a very important thing because sometimes also we know EV is totally, you can be a very clean, but because Asian, most of the country, you still have a petroleum and all, like Malaysia, we have Petronas. In also Thailand, you have a PTT, Petro Thai, and also Indonesia, also petroleum, and also of course like Brunei and all things like. So there must have some solution you can able to using both as well, okay? Then second thing in terms of the station, Minyak station and all things like. So we still have a lot of petrol station and gasoline station, but because if EV you're to getting the charging station, that will be in the future as well. So in terms of the population and all things, 650 million and all things, we only about 4 million cars. So currently there will be a transition between the HEV to the EV as well. Okay, let's see this video.
GT Suite is the leading system simulation software for designing electrified vehicle systems. As challenging emissions and energy consumption standards continue to grow, so has the demand for vehicle electrification. Gamma Technologies provides the tools and experience to help the industry not only develop these electrified vehicles, but also understand the complex trade-offs associated with them at every step of the design process. In the early stages of developing electrified drivetrains, GT Suite provides fast and efficient virtual analysis of different hybrid architectures. GT Suite's flexible model building interface, along with a complete transmission and driveline modeling library, allows any type of hybrid electric vehicle architecture to be virtually built and analyzed for emissions, fuel economy, electric range, acceleration performance, well-to-wheel energy consumption, and distribution of energy losses. With electrification comes a number of new obstacles for noise, vibration, and harshness engineers. Not only can certain hybrid architectures add clutches to the drivetrain, which can cause judder issues, but frequent starts and stops of the engine require NVH engineers to refine engine starting dynamics. GT Suite is uniquely suited to address these challenges. By combining GT Power engine models, advanced engine mechanics models, and electrical models, GT Suite captures all important transient effects of engine starting. Controlling the temperature of HEV components like batteries, motors, and inverters, while also ensuring pleasant cabin comfort, is another challenge presented by vehicle electrification. GT Suite's vehicle thermal management tools, including a fast and stable one-dimensional flow solver and a three-dimensional solution for underhood cooling models, help automotive companies use a systems approach to design and analyze cooling components and control strategies. With these advanced tools and capabilities, GT Suite is the ideal tool to aid in the design and optimization of electrified vehicles, from conceptual to production stages. To learn more, please visit our website at www.gtisoft.com. GT Suite.
Okay, so yeah, so I think just now you saw the feature and the whole the GT Suite, and it's not just only for battery, EV, and also engine SE. It's talking about whole entire car, and including the thermal inside the car, hatchback and all, the control system and all these things as well. It's totally a whole complete. So this GT Suite is supporting by a lot of a partner. I think later I'll be sharing with you. And basically, it can be handled, especially different type of engine, ICE, like EV and all. And this is the layout also of the GT. So when you enter GT site, you already have all the library and everything let you to select. Okay, even the engine, lubricant, and also even the model. You can select the EV, HEV, fuel cell, and also parallel serial and all things like. As you know, you understand about HEV. There's a different type of serial parallel. Yeah. So we're talking about those are very advanced, especially that this will be talking about Toyota Prius and yeah. Okay, from there, I think you can see from here, the new version of the GT will be up to about version 2020. And the POC is called 2019. They follow the year, okay? Then you can see from here, the battery EV and also the serial parallel. And also you can see the state of charging and all this cooling system controller and everything is inside the GT. And you can see from here, hybrid electrical model, everything is already there, okay, the database. So for instance, like you have a vehicle, you have a motor, generator, battery, yeah. So inside there, they also have all the databases already provided. Like engine, you can have a 4-stroke, okay? And also engine replacement, all these things are inside here. You can just key in as well. Okay, then also you have a generator, all the data you can put it in, yeah. Then you come to especially the motor one, you have all the data. Okay, the driver, the behavior of driver, that's a very important thing. Okay, sometimes also the driver, especially for motorsport car, how's the driver, and also the genuine driver and passengers and all things like passenger and all. So you have a data, everything you can put inside there. And as you know, HEV, Toyota Prius is one of the biggest and also one of the big name here. And what this was when I was in the German, when I saw the first 2004 that time. And this is the engine side, you can see, okay. That is also gasoline engine and combined together, with this electrical. So that's not easy, especially you like to handle a combustion engine and handle the electric. But if both of them or two together, how you synchronize that? The power distribution and also the energy and all these things when you up here and down here, and this is a very, very challenges and all that. So Toyota have a very good, especially in terms of the monitoring about all this energy and EV, HEV, yeah. So this is Toyota Prius, second generation. So in GT, it's very special because GT, basically, they have been working with all the automotive side. And also they are be sending the engineer to develop the database and all. This is very important. There might be based about 10 engineers in the Toyota to develop the EV, okay, HEV. Then also about 10 engineers also in the Nissan for the EV. So in the engineering, so after develop the data, so they will keep all this technology to using inside Toyota, roughly about for 3 years. Okay, this is called IP. So only about after 3 years later, they only can be disclosed and also put in this module, all the database inside the GT. Of course, whatever they're selling, then they'll be pay a royalty to the Toyota or maybe Nissan. Okay, so this is the working type as well, especially you will need to getting all this data. So for those university education, when they are come to here, or maybe the automotive side, they would like to develop HEV, they no need to come from the scratch because they can extract this Toyota Prius, the engine. Of course, this is a version 2. There's a, now I think latest one is version, Toyota Prius version 4. But at least you can do something without doing from a scratch as well. So this is the value of the data and also IP. And of course, we have another optimization. I think most of you understand, okay. For myself, I think we have been also 25 years. We are considered a pioneer to brought in all the CAD, CAM, and also the CAE, FEA, CFD, and all this analysis, like motion analysis and all things like. So this is also another level after CAD, CAM, CAE. Then another level is called optimization. So optimization is called, they're based on the genetic algorithm like Takeuchi method, Monte Carlo and all. This is to be another next step. I mean, most of the university will be moving to this area. So to control the engine is the same thing because you have a design, you have CAD, you have a parameter, and also you have all these too many parameters come up to about million and billion of the database. So you need to have some special optimization engine to able to be read all the data. Then you know the genetic algorithm to solve it, which is the useful data, how to optimize that, the performance and trade-off and all the things like. Okay, so you'll be linked together GT and Mode Frontier for optimization. Okay, you can see from here. And there's some case study on the GT. So GT model, you can put it ICE engine. Of course, you have vehicle, you have an electric motor as well. All need to be linked together. And vehicle model, powertrain component testing. And of course, you can link with the Simulink for control system. A lot of control systems still under Simulink and MATLAB and all the things like. So you can link all together. So GT able to let you to link up all different type of analysis, including the CFD or FEA. All this will be linked with the GT. Yeah. Of course, your thermal engine strategy. Okay. Security control, all the security control, all they will be linked up. And automotive strategy. All these are linking. And range control, yeah. And the motor management side. So you can see from motor management side, that is a very important thing. You have power from electric motor, you have power from IC, how is the speed and all, yeah. So you can see from here, all the graph and diagram here. And range control. And of course, I think they also have a target. We're talking about optimization. Let's say a 22 km to go with 20 mj. Okay, so how is the electrical and also how is the gasoline you'll be using for that? Okay, so especially in the driving cycle is another standard especially for emission, and also you have a driving cycle FTP in the USA, and also you have a driving cycle for NEDC, which is using a lot of European on that, and China is using WLTC, and Malaysia also only about 2 years ago. We have just completed the Malaysia driving cycle, which VTC have been provided the software to the MARI, and also working with roughly about 7 universities to come out the Malaysia driving cycle standard. So in the future, all these car, you're talking about green car, and there will be a special sticker on your road tag and all this, on your road tag. So this is talking about, this is the green car, okay? So this is, they already passed through, especially like a driving cycle, like WLTC. In the European, they're called NEDC as well. So we're trying to set up, in Malaysia, we have a crash analysis, it's called NCAP, Asian NCAP 5-star. But also we have a coming up, especially called Asian driving cycle, which currently Malaysia is the first one. We are trying to talking to Indonesia, Vietnam to standardize all this. Okay, then yeah, acceleration. And okay, even for those are luxury car hybrid as well. So we can see serial hybrid, G-Power model, same as well. You have motor, battery and all. Yeah, so the result, and you can see from here. So this is all the layout. So we can see about Toyota Prius and Honda Civic and also Nissan Leaf and also Volkswagen. All these are different type of car, also HEV, EV and all, yeah. So let us see, how big is the battery? And let's come back. Okay, when talking about the whole world, we have about 1.2 billion car on the road around that. And every year also, you can see China is produced 28 million and Malaysia and Asian is only produced 4 million. How about this EV? How big is the portion in the EV in the world now, up to now? Okay, and who has produced the battery and how big is it? So you can see from here, China is produced about 62.5 gigawatt. And also you can see second one is in Japan and Korea. So the total produced 109.8 as well. So who's the major maker in the world? I mean, to produce this battery for automotive. So CATL will be also from China. They produce the biggest one at this moment. Of course, BYD, all the while they are in the EV car. Of course, they are in the different range of EV. Tesla is in the high level side. BYD is more for those moderate level and also for the local use as well from China. Of course, LG and also Samsung and yeah. So there's also the small one, especially producing in Taiwan or maybe some of our other countries as well. So let us see. This is how important, how the batteries are.
Building lithium-ion batteries is hard. In a world where product development is dominated by a build, test, break approach, innovation is slow, expensive, and unable to quickly adapt to the ever-changing marketplace requirements. Autoline works by offering 3 independent software programs specifically designed to replace slow experimentation with rapid simulation for each stage of lithium-ion product development. For example, Autoline 1D is designed for material developers and cell manufacturers to optimize material composition and cell design to meet power, energy, and life requirements for a given application. The power to evaluate the characteristics of a battery over a wide range of operating conditions is at your fingertips and can be done within minutes. No modeling experience necessary. Autoline 3D takes the simulations to the next level, allowing for the evaluation of cell and pack level safety and thermal management in 3 dimensions within a CFD environment. The use of a physics-based simulation tool in this regard opens up a realm of insight and new understanding not available in an experiment-only approach. Evaluate thermal management strategies, investigate the root cause of safety events, and analyze the effectiveness of safety mitigation strategies, all within a virtual environment with no physical prototyping required. And finally, Autoline ST is a powerful tool which is designed to simulate the virtual battery in conjunction with the dynamic system in which it operates. Optimize system architecture, evaluate system-level performance trade-offs, and determine the life-cost optimization of system-level operating strategies, all within hours instead of weeks or months. So what are you waiting for? Start making faster and better decisions about lithium-ion product development. Unleash innovation and nurture stronger collaborations within your team. Request your Autoline license today. Building lithium-ion.
Okay, so this Autoline basically PSC, GT Power, they have been also dominant all the ICE engine, the biodiesel engine and all. So when they come to the EV, it's very important thing. It's not just the mechanism and the analysis and all thing, especially like HEV. but they need a database. What is a chemical reaction? They need to be testing, they need to be proven, and all this databases need to be very important, the chemical reaction. So about last year, I think beginning of last year, 2019, they have purchased, they acquired another company. It's called Autolion. And this Autolion is basically developed by one of the university in the USA. They have all been tested, all the database in terms of the lithium ion battery, and different type of lithium ion battery as well. So all this database, they put it inside the Autolion, and it be also now it's embedded also as option inside the GT as well. So GT able to using, last time they are using when it come to the this EV or HEV, the database they are also using is just a dummy or default for the database. But now today they can using Autolion to put inside and to get a very accurate. Then let us see this thing, the battery design. So battery also have a lot of revolution, and you can see about roughly 2014. The most they can battery capacity they can go is roughly up to about maybe about 150 kilometer per trip as well per charging. But today you can see 2018, you can up to about 500 around that. But now I think you can up to about 600, some has come up to about 600 or 700. So all these things you need to understand about how to be increased capacity of the EV. And especially some also trying to go for quantum mechanic or maybe nano battery and all, which is able to be saving a lot of energy inside the EV. Yeah. So in the Europe, this is some of our latest February in 2020. Let's see how, 2018. They are in the European side. So European also in terms of diesel, there's quite big as well. Gasoline and diesel, okay, 55 diesel and also 32. Then there was 5.1, okay. AFE basically is like those are green energy, like EV, HEV, PHEV and all. So 2019, you can see, especially 2019, they always increased 6.5, okay, not too much. So basically in European, roughly the ratio is between the 5% around that, okay. It's increasing and all, yeah, progressively. Okay, and also some of the model also European, you can see from here. Of course, Tesla 3 is still the most people are using. And of course, you have Leaf and all this car, Golf and yeah, Ioniq and yeah, all this is the car. So the famous one is still, especially is like Tesla as well. Then how about in China? You can see about 2018. So China, you can foresee 2018, very special. China foresee this NEV, a new energy vehicle. There was assumed basically how many million and all things like. So totally they are sold about 1.256 million car. Okay, and this is a new energy. And you can see initially they're targeting, okay, 200, but become a 245. So it's 100% increasing. So you can see all are very, very positive and increasing. So from the 200, like I always say, from China, they have about 28 million car production. So this new energy is already almost about 5% of the whole total China, and it's increasing. That is very, very huge and potential. Yeah. So let's see how is the GT also can be doing other platform. And you're talking about now autonomous, okay? You're talking about 5G and all things like. So GT also able to be adapt and also embedded in all this area. Okay, so GT basically is good for the training, for student and all, for lecturing, for research. That's very important because from the textbooks it's only 2D. So from this thing you can do the testing. You can also do all the try and error and all. Yeah, same as well. If you are talking about engine, I think it's not too. Last time you're talking about CNC. It's not everyone can go for CNC for a student because CNC is very expensive. So they are going for 2 simulation and all. Yeah. But today it's the same as well. No university can produce about 20, 40 engine and EV and all. So you can use a virtual EV and also virtual HEV inside the computer and all. So you can see it can be complex like this, okay? The virtual integrated powertrain. And also we'll be working with various of all the partners you can see. CAD-CAM, CFD, and FEA and core simulation, even car sim, car maker, and yeah. And yeah, you can see all the model. From transmission, everything is very, very detailed and very, very user-friendly, and all by icon. And of course, this is talking about emission, the testing, and also the autonomous car. And yeah, so we can using especially the mapping, the GT Power as the engine, and also all this virtual vehicle dynamic, and also those are instrument testing, DSpace, ETAS, and all things. And in Malaysia, also is starting booming on this thing because you need to do, we call HIL, hardware in the loop as well. Most of the time also it's only software in the loop at this moment, yeah. So hardware in the loop is what happening is the software will be linked with the hardware to testing the, especially like ADAS, and also those are 5G and testing all the car like autonomous, yeah. So this is very important thing in the testing, yeah. So you can see this was my team. I think last time there was in the Yokohama, and you can also link up together LabVIEW, GT Power, and CarSim as well. So when you travel and all the thing, travel in the, let's say, Pahang and Kuantan. So basically, if you have data of the Proton side of the car, they can input inside there, vehicle dynamic. And also they can get the data, root data, it's called digitizing data. Then of course, you can be also set up in the GT Power, the engine, what type of engine is inside the car. Either it's EV, HEV and all. So you can do a driving, like driving cycle to get the driving cycle, WLTC, and also NEDC, and yeah, all this standard as well. Okay, so you can see the route and all this, the condition, everything can be virtual in the future, okay? Yeah, so you can see all the link up, all very, very detailed, okay? So basically, it's a very specific, dedicated, and also PAM, and everything will be linked together inside the GT. And this is the biggest team, okay? So basically, they have a call, original, the developer is called Gamma Technology. So they'll be taking care of the European and also US market. Then you have another, our partner is called IDAG. They are taking care Korea, China, and also the Japan. And BTC is taking care of the whole of Southeast Asia. Yeah. So that is my email. You can be look into the VTC solution, and also you can email if you have any question. So I think I will stop here. I will pass back to Dr. Aravind. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Data. Probably if any of you want to ask anything with the data, if you cannot ask, probably you can put in the chat group so that I can moderate for you. Okay, I have a common question, like every year, if you see the battery technology keeps on adopting or, like emerging new one, right?
Yes.
And,
yes.
And we want to promote to buy an electric vehicle. And typically, if I want to buy a car, I expect the car to be not to be changed at least for 6 to 10 years, at least for 10 years, right? Okay. So with this type of technology emerging every year, yeah. I mean, what actually motivates me to buy or adapt to this type of EV and HEV type of vehicles? Apart from that, I am environmentally, like conscious or some sort of. I don't know, it's very, very difficult to answer, but probably.
Okay, some people are going for this EV. Of course, it's like environmental issue. Yeah, so of course, the future city smart city. Yeah, we base a lot of charging and all things. When I was in Japan, there's a lot of Nissan Leaf also. Same also is like a car. There was parking there, and I think about 20, 50 car. Then you just pay per use and all. Yeah. So for people are easy because the cost to maintain, you are not using the ICE and all. So one of the things is like to maintenance. Of course, maintenance ICE side, you need to use especially petrol and already maintenance side. So for EV, it's more easier for you to maintain. Okay. Then only thing is regarding the battery. A lot of people are concerned about battery, but as you know, it's also very much depend on the manufacturer. For instance, I think the Toyota Prius 2 until now, they still also can be running, especially the battery until how many years? About 15 years above and all. Yeah. So the cost also initial definitely they'll be quite high, and but I believe now it's only about less than about 5%. But in the future, if they become a volume and there's commercial value and all things, like the battery is become cheaper and cheaper as well. And of course, the capacity you can see from 150 km now it's almost about 700 km as well. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So how does the government is responding for adapting this type of EV in terms of like subsidies compared to that of using a gasoline, buying a gasoline? If I buy, for example, EV,
Yeah.
so is there a government plan to absorb certain part of cost? Like
Okay, good question. Like what I say, Asian is a bit, European, of course, there are a lot of incentive and all thing because gasoline and all thing has become an issue for them. But in South Asia, of course, we have a Petronas, we have a PTT, we have Brunei and all things like, so we have to taking care of all this industry as well. So you need to have balance as well. Yeah. So, but I think Malaysia also, one hand, you're talking about economy and also oil and gas. Another one, you're talking about environment. So that's also when this the Total Plus, still remember, when they're selling, coming to Malaysia, it's about special tax relief. It's only selling about 120K or something, right? Total Plus, that's one time. But today you like to buy Total Plus, you need roughly about 200 or 250,000. Yeah, that's also you can't see any new model in Malaysia anymore, right? So that is a trend also. I would say I think it will take a little bit of time also by HEV first, then also EV and all. Today you still can't see the Tesla in Malaysia because the tax is still very high.
yeah,
But you can see other places as well because 300% of the tax is very high as well. But that will be goes on progressively, and the government policy they need to be also progressively to be open instead of open directly as well. Yeah.
okay. One more question is like, is Malaysia ready for this number of charging stations? Because like we buy an electrical vehicle or hybrid electric vehicle,
Yeah.
but if there is not enough fuel for me to refuel, refill as I move on,
Yeah.
is it also another factor that actually makes me to think like, now you see that the normal gasoline, you can see at least maybe within a
Everywhere.
kilometer, 3 kilometers, you can find at least one gas station to be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how for that become a critical factor? Like you are in this market, you know that how difficult uh, or how is it going to go forward from now in maybe in 10 years time or 15 years time? Is government is moving towards introducing larger number of charging station?
Okay, that's a good question. About 10 years ago, Malaysia trying to bring this car called, they are brought in the car, they are trying to have some sort of like pay per use. And they are getting this Nissan Leaf. You can see some of the station, even in the, the LRT station, there are about 2 cars there and they are charging and all thing. And that time also one charging, it's not, the charging station is more expensive than the car. The charging station, they need a big cable and all thing and cost about 200,000. Okay. So the car is how much is it? Then that will be in terms of a commercial scale and all things, it's not there. Okay, so the project was not very successful. But now it's different. Now any new city and even in the Indonesia or Vietnam and all things, even I think now like VinFast. VinFast is the newcomer of the Vietnam. They are in the Hanoi. They produce their own car. They're getting a lot of people from the BMW and GM as well. And the government is pumping a lot of big money as well, 2 billion USA. And they employ a lot of people there. And they already come out their EV as well. The first EV now is in the testing. So before they're going for EV side, they need to, the facility is very important because they're charging. So now they have to embed that, especially for smart city. And all this charging station is still be very crucial. I think in Malaysia, we still have room also to build up this type of charging and all. Of course, TMB, not just Petronas, we're talking oil and gas is Petronas. We're talking about charging and all things is TMB. So how TMB can be cooperate with all these people, more low tariff and all things. That's a very, very important thing. It's the whole nation planning and yeah. Mm-hmm.
So since you talk about TNB, like my question as an electrical engineer is like, how good is our grid? Grid will be capable, like if assuming like you have 10 times or 100 times of the charging station as of available today.
Okay, Dr. Aravi, can you repeat your question? Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so how good is our power system grid is capable, assuming like there are going to be 100 times of more charging station in the future?
That's possible. If let's say I think this is a game also, especially in the volume. Now I think people are buying especially the EV, HEV. Last time you can see especially the momentum also in the Toyota Prius because the price is quite low. But after that, you can see Audi, Mercedes-Benz, hybrid and all things. It's not easy. And I think you go to, especially you went to this, maybe IKEA, you only can see a few stations, right? So that is an important thing. If you're getting more, and I think the station, this is talking about how many volume cars coming in and also how many volume they are going for that. So another possibility is unless, let's say, our national car, Proton, Produa, also produce some of the EV, then there will be a different story like Myvi in the EV. That's possible, which happened also in India. Now India has a lot of EV small car and all thing. It's good for the people. Yeah.
So that's where I'm coming. Like like in India is I don't think it's quite successful, but successful is because the production cost is very low because everything is coming from like Okay. Anyway, I have a question from one of the audience, like Dr. Siang.
Yeah.
What do you think is the holding back factor for Malaysia to adopt for EV vehicle? Was it a concern on reliability issue or charging facility availability concern? And
Okay.
he has one more question.
Sure.
So probably you want to answer this one first before you tell the other question.
Sure. Like I mentioned just now, basically it's not just in Malaysia, basically it's the whole Asian region, even European, maybe in Arab, Saudi and all things, because you have to balance between the economy as well. First thing major is because if you are the petrol country, then you need to find the balance between that. Yeah. So this is major issue. Second thing is the policy, means is the EV battery and all things is regarding the technology. I mean, do you have a technology or resources, manpower, skillful? Then third thing is regarding the university, what you call the think tank, the pool also from university. Because our university, as you know, just now I mentioned that for the past about 18 years, we are very focusing in the ICE engine. That's a major for motorcycle. But if we see this thing is coming in and there's a commercial value, then we have to build up more people in the EV and HEV, and yeah, that's very, very important. Yeah. So it's few things like technology and also the structure of the economy. And the last thing is the manpower as well. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that is also asking for your opinion on how many years do you think for Malaysia to prepare sufficient charging station to accommodate to the increase in the EV vehicle? It's an opinionated question.
Okay, that is a very good question. The thing is that now the global because the global warming and all thing issue, so the market need to be more open and need to moving to this direction. So like in China, you can see they are almost 28 million car. They are only now is roughly for the past about 10 years. Now they are only about 5% of the EV side. But key thing is that Malaysia, we have a stronger point is because our facility infrastructure is there, right? So that is important thing is like you can see is like if let's say I mentioned that the major automotive like Proton, Produa, they'll be switching also some of the EV and some newcomer coming in more cheaper like BYD or other people coming in. Then this thing will be pushed up. Once you push up means you need a station and everything side. So Petronas, you have to come out. Then in the future, the few new city, they have to planning a special called smart city. How you control if about 10 million car need to be charging at night. So how is the energy, energy control management? That's very, very important. Yeah. So I would say, I think you can see the growth. I think it's very much depend on the government encouragement, the tax and all the things. Yeah, and of course, it's the global impact as well. I think Malaysia, we have a good, as you know, Malaysia, we have about 1,000 people, 200 people have owning the car. Compared to Indonesia, maybe 1,000, they're about 80, still a big room for them. And education, everything side and infrastructure, Malaysia are ready for all these things. Yeah, only the encouragement, the tax and all. Yeah.
So what's holding back? Is it the price or the you need to educate the people to buy towards sustainability?
Okay, it's a very important thing. Yeah, education is very important. Education, you have to let people know why is the environment issue is important, right? Second thing is the maintenance. People regarding the price as well, because some of price coming in roughly about at least 50 or 100 or 300%. Those luxury like Tesla coming in, I think easily nearly about few 100,000, quarter million, right? So then also you have to also consider about after 10 year, 5 year, the battery and all these things like all these issue will be inside there. So key thing is like you need to educate the market about important thing is like the energy, and also in the future, especially for the global warming and all. Yeah, that's a very main thing. Okay, anything you like to train and to switching, then you need to not just only the facility, the policy and all things, like you need to educate the people there. Like European, they understand. Japanese, they also understand, right? So in Malaysia or Asian market, they need to a little bit time because in terms of a living standard and all things, I need a little bit time also to balance this thing. Yeah, the concept and also economy, you need to be balanced as well. Yeah.
So maybe I think it's the size might be a issue, like because of the size is bigger, probably you need to pay more price. In India, successful is because we have electric scooter, the cars are very smaller in size, So maybe I think that is another thing the government also can do it. Okay, anyway, I think you have one more question, which is talking about your GT suit.
Yes.
It's from Ms. Safira. She's asking about, hi, Mr. Lim, any trial version for GT suit?
Yeah, the trial version, yes, I think there will be provide about 30 days, but basically there will suggest student will be informed the lecturer. Then I think we can provide about 30 days license for the testing on that. And currently, I think we have one special program called GT Suite, SAP. SAP is called special academic package as well. So in the future, because this GT is a very niche market, so of course the investment will be higher. But during this pandemic and all these things, we managed to be talking to a principal. And you see, you're talking principal then to come out a very, very special. For instance, this package, we have a two like one, if you're getting the GT suite, which is the full module, then you'll be getting about GT power, 20 unit, 10 unit for GT power, 10 unit for GT multi-physics for the teaching. So this is a very important thing for future. And I think currently for the past 18 years, we are more focused in the research last time. So most of the university, all these people, they are buying for research package. But now, like UTM and all, they are starting going like UTP, going for the, what they call the training for the student and all. This is a trend now, we have to go there. And I think Malaysia have advantages because, yeah, basically, we've been doing the engine all thing for almost about 18 years already. Yeah. Okay. I think thank you very much. I think we are on time. So thank you very much, Dr. Lim. And if for the participants can open up your video, maybe your picture. Probably we want to take a group picture together. Yeah, we have 53 participants. Very good. I mean, all the young people. Yeah. Yeah, so, I think most of them have diverse background like mechanical, chemical, and electrical. Okay, you have a chemical as well, right? Auto Lion and all. Yeah. Any for more? At Taylor's, we have the Taylor's racing team.